Hey traders, in this video I'm going to be talking about the difference between predicting price and reacting to price as a trader. I personally react to the price. I don't predict what's going to happen. I look at most likely scenarios based on experience and historical examples, but I'm reacting to the price as it reacts to support and resistance levels. This is an example of a live stream that I did for ChartGuys members on September 27th when I took a trade first thing in the morning based on the 2-minute time frame, set a stop loss, and then let that trade play out, recognizing later that there was a longer term bearish pattern in play, and that ended up following through. But long story short, I positioned myself in a low risk, high reward scenario and couldn't predict that we were going to drop significantly from there, but my short ended up profiting well because it did. Good morning, everybody. It's Tuesday, September 27th, 9 a.m. Eastern. We have a higher open overnight with Bitcoin bulls making a break and the broader market's opening near the high of yesterday. So that's how we're going to head into the start of this morning. It's with a resistance test on SPY, QQQ, and all of our major sectors going to be testing their highs of yesterday first thing. So it is QQQ, clearly our lead bull, much stronger than XLF and XLV. XBI is the strongest sector on my screen here first thing. We'll see if bulls are able to maintain those gains. XBI high of yesterday, still not close to being in play. Here is SPY on the verge of confirming a 5-minute downtrend. Double bottom at the moment by a penny. NVDA bulls standing out a good bit. First thing, high of yesterday in play, 126.59. Bear break on SPY, so we have a clear 5-minute downtrend from pre-market. So that'll be our short-term guide. Bears have control as long as the 5-minute downtrend remains. And if it continues, then it's an hourly lower high versus the high of yesterday. But looks like NIO is going to join Team Bull. And I should say NVDA is going to be on Team Bull, at least with its relative strength here first thing. Tesla has already broken the high of yesterday, so it is certainly standing out still. XLF at the low of the day. QQQ up near the high of the day. So it's looking like it's going to have to be QQQ that takes the lead, which means Amazon and Apple from yesterday are going to need to take the lead as well. Amazon already broke the high of yesterday, not by a lot, but it did. And now Apple is testing. Apple's currently a double top with the high of yesterday. So that's one to be watching closely. So right now, both Apple and NVDA at their highs of yesterday. Tesla's stronger than both. Tesla's next resistance, we filled the gap at 285.82. And the next resistance is on the hourly at 291.53 for Tesla. Quick big bounce on XLF. Very quickly, no longer the weakest sector. Apple is over the high of yesterday. So joining Apple, Amazon, Tesla, again, those lead bulls yesterday, the first to break resistances. SPY is breaking the 5-minute lower high from pre-market, which is keeping high of yesterday resistance in play. 370.21. We're going to need a new low of the day on SPY and QQQ if we're going to see convincing rejections from the highs of yesterday. But QQQ is right there, 279.49. It will break before SPY does if we're going to break resistance. CCJ definitely on the lead bull side of things over the high of yesterday. Hourly uptrend confirmed. NIO rejected from the high of yesterday and is showing a little bit of weakness. So it looks like NIO is getting the boot from Team Bull. We'll see if it can save another attempt at that high, 1840 or not. Fairly close to seeing all major sectors at the high of the day at the same time. So QQQ is there, XLF is there, XLV is close, not officially there, but if we were to see that, that would definitely increase probabilities that SPY and QQQ can both break highs of yesterday. Just watching QQQ right now, it's a double top with the high of yesterday by 5 pennies. It's got to continue to be the leader. We know that if QQQ does not break the high, then SPY certainly is not going to. So XBI still has a ton of space under the high of yesterday. Meta, lots of space still. 142.24, not in play at the moment. CGC, TLRY. FDX. FDX is testing the low of yesterday right now. Checking on Bitcoin's reaction to the open. It's responding very similarly. 5-minute chart, pretty much the same as SPY right now over the last 30 plus minutes. QQQ broke the high of yesterday. Another little check mark for the bulls, and now it's just SPY 370.21. CCJ still having a real strong morning. Lots of names with 2 big green candles to start. And we do have all major sectors testing the high of the day right now at the same time. XLV is the name that still needs a little bit more break. SPY is testing the high of pre-market. It is a 2-minute stair step on SPY. So there is a potential top fish with the high of yesterday resistance. The fact that we saw all major sectors up at the highs at the same time increases probabilities of a bull break for me. XBI 78.43 resistance. Still a bit of a ways away. High of the day test on SPY, bull break. So 2-minute stair step is our short-term guide for full bull control on the morning. NIO still not breaking high of yesterday. There is a little bit of relative weakness starting to present itself there. I'm going to top fish SPY's current high just to see if we're going to get that little resistance break and then run out of some momentum into 2-minute consolidation. I'll exit if 370.50 breaks. Just a very low risk play looking for 2-minute consolidation. Exiting 1/3 of that. And we'll just stick to the stop for the rest. So 2-minute consolidation underway. Still very healthy. Bulls could potentially form a bull flag here, but pretty much break-even risk. So why did I short the resistance break of SPY? Because the 2-minute was a stair step, a bit extended, and it was just essentially looking for bulls to use up the last of their short-term strength on that resistance break, and then being out of gas at that point. Bears want to see a 1-minute or 2-minute downtrend confirmed. If we continue to fade from here, that's a big if. There's a lot of time left on the morning, but I would be watching a rising wedge on the futures hourly. Again, the rising wedge being the bull break with 0 follow through. But ways to go yet. Don't have a whole lot of confidence unless we see bears start to continue to prove it by gaining some trends in their favor. Still just looking for a 5-minute higher low right now on our strong start. So I don't really have a ton of confidence in that hourly rising wedge, but I have a position that will benefit if it is an hourly rising wedge, just based off of short-term time frames being overbought. Bears need to break 369.03 on SPY to confirm a 2-minute downtrend. So we now got a 2-minute downtrend with further 5-minute pullback. So now the best case for the bulls after this start would be a 5-minute equilibrium. We pretty much need to start this bounce here shortly and see a 50% retracement on the bounce to try and recover a good bit of what was just given back. XLF heading towards the low of the day. It's going to be key whether or not that breaks. It's our weakest sector still on the morning. Good bit of volatility the first 5-minute candle, but here's the low of the day test. And again, now that it's played out a little bit more, just checking back in on that futures potential hourly rising wedge. We're testing the uptrend support line. So now what the bears would need would be a 5-minute downtrend to be confirmed. Bulls are trying to defend the low of the day. So just zooming in, the bulls will need to gain a 1-minute uptrend again to have some confidence in a 5-minute bounce seeing follow through to try and shape up an equilibrium. QQQ and SPY both right down to the low of the day, but holding. XLF, we can still consider that a double bottom with its low of the day. XLV holding on a lot better. So hold of support, tightening 5-minute range, trying to shape up. MARA, 5-minute higher low, a little bit more space to work with versus its low of the day. Coin, same thing. So it looks like crypto names a little bit stronger than SPY and QQQ here initially. But Bitcoin's 5-minute is doing the same thing as SPY, so not a whole lot of difference there. So this is about a 50% retracement or so on SPY on this bounce, so definitely possible to see this 5-minute range tighten up for the next 20 minutes or so. Do still need a 1-minute uptrend on SPY. So SPY, if we top out here, have to hold the low and then confirm the 1-minute trend change for the 5-minute to continue tightening up the equilibrium. The position size that I have remaining on my SPXS entry is pretty much the same size as my SPY long-term no touch. So the way that plays out is if we keep dropping, I pretty much locked in my SPY long-term no touch near the high of the day. Obviously I didn't sell it, but pretty much the same thing as selling it. And if SPY sees, recovers and sees a new high here, I'll stop out of my short, pretty much break even. So essentially the way it's positioned is as if I had sold my SPY long-term no touch at the high of the day. So all about the 1-minute on SPY to see if we get 5-minute bounce follow through. Posting ticker request thread. SPY 1-minute still tightening up. The higher low is set. We've got to break the resistance for 5-minute bounce follow through. If we can't confirm a 1-minute trend change, we're back to the low of the day test, which appears to be incoming. QQQ got the new low of the day, as did SPY. Still not a 5-minute downtrend being confirmed on either, but bulls have obviously lost that initial momentum. Keep in mind on our futures chart, we are still in an hourly uptrend technically. So I'm watching these pre-market levels. If it holds, it's a potential hourly head and shoulders for us to be watching later in the morning. And that low on SPY at 5 a.m. is coinciding with 366.75. So that's a key level for me here. If that level is lost, futures are losing the hourly uptrend. If we get to 5-minute oversold conditions from here, I'll probably exit another 1/3 of my SPXS. And again, we haven't confirmed 5-minute downtrends yet. We've got 1-minute, 2-minute downtrends. But if bears are going to control the morning, we got a 5-minute waterfall drop right now with a lower high every single candle. So once that breaks, for bears to drive it home, they're gaining one trend at a time. The 1-minute, the 2-minute, next is the 5-minute, if they're going to keep that control. So the hourly uptrend has been lost on our futures charts. QQQ, not a convincing break just yet. QQQ is actually testing the hourly support right now. But SPY already broke. At no point this morning in my whiteboard, in my preparation hour of looking at charts, did I look at this and say, that looks like a rising wedge to me. It only developed after the high break straight into a pullback. And again, I had no real confidence it was going to play out. That's the thing that people don't understand about technical analysis. They think it's predicting. I did not have confidence that this would be a rising wedge bear break to start the morning, but I positioned myself to benefit in a low risk, high reward scenario if it did shape up. And I didn't even see it until I was already in a position. It was just the 2-minute time frame being extended on a resistance break that then turned into this. So just to recap, the main takeaways were reacting to short-term price, selling a partial position that allows me to place a stop loss at risk-free and let the trade play out, essentially leaving a runner. And then I can walk a stop loss down with the remaining position as long as we're in a 5-minute downtrend, or just leave it at break even and let the entire day play out and potentially let it turn into a swing position. And that's something that I often do as well. I'll have a day trade. I don't know how the day is going to play out, but if we end up in a spot where I'm in a direction that controls the rest of the day from there, I will oftentimes turn that day trade into a swing position if I have a considerable amount of cushion of profit because of how the day played out. Feel free to ask any questions. Appreciate you watching, and check out our Chart Guys community for examples of these live streams every day.